I bought a MacBook, and a really beautiful one, for 65 euros. This is a 2009 MacBook, not MacBook Pro, not MacBook Air, just MacBook. So that was the beginner kind of laptop, or well, beginner, like the entry-level laptop from Apple back then. Probably cost like 1,000 euros or something new. And I remember when these were popular. But usually they're beat to hell. Usually they have cracks here, here. They're usually dirty and a lot of scratches. And this one, I really have to say, well, it has scratches here a little bit. You can hardly see it actually. This is just beautiful. This probably has to be the most beautiful MacBook I've ever seen. Really nice condition. So yeah, 13-inch MacBook, 2009. And the previous owner said it's really slow and probably not to be used for anyone anymore. And I'm not sure if that's true, but in its current state, he's probably right. I mean, this is its original configuration. This has only 2 gigabytes of RAM and I think 160 gigabyte hard disk, which is like the stock configuration, like the most basic one you could probably get. The battery still works, as you see. I don't know how long it still holds, probably not long, but it still works. And it runs 10.11 El Capitan. Takes forever to load. And I got a feeling that its hard disk is on its way out. Now what I'm really glad about is he included the power supply, which, man, this thing is almost as available as the computer nowadays. I mean, I'm not lying there. These things are expensive. And here we finally are. This really took an eternity and still not done, as you see. Beach ball. I really got a feeling this hard drive is slowly but surely dying. What do we have here? McAfee. Mac antivirus. Someone got ripped off. I find it hilarious. Mac and antivirus is kind of funny, isn't it? MacBook Mate 29. 2.13 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. That's a Penryn, if I'm not wrong, so that might make it interesting to run the later macOS versions. Only 2 gigabytes of RAM, a really nice graphics card, well, for the year anyway, quite okay. Oh yeah, as you see, I wonder if that drive still works. I mean, these are always shot, usually. Not that you really need them anymore. So as you see, in this current configuration, not very useful. We need to upgrade RAM and storage. So I have here 2 RAM sticks, which I hope they work. They've been laying around in my workshop forever. And finally I can put them to use. So those are here Doska 800 megahertz DDR2 and 1 Buffalo. There you go. I really hope they work. If they don't work, we have a problem. Then I have to postpone this project. And SSD, because no one should use a spinning drive in 2023 as a boot drive. This MacBook is from the times where Apple actually made upgradable computers. Imagine that! You can upgrade something on your Apple computer. Unthinkable nowadays. So let alone repair. So here is the battery. You need a coin, you twist this, and that's it. Removed. Watch a video how to remove a MacBook Pro battery, for example, from a 2016 MacBook Pro. How times have changed. So here they even have instructions how to take out the RAM. Wow. Shouldn't we go back to such stuff? So let's unscrew those 3 Phillips screws. No Torx. No security, whatever bullshit screw, pentalobe, whatever they have nowadays. Just a normal Phillips screw. And now we remove this shield thing. This has probably never been removed. There it is. No further disassembly required. All we do is flip this lever and our RAM sticks pop right out. Oops. 1 gigabyte. Was I right? 800 megahertz? Stock RAM. And now let's put in Joska. Even they show even the orientation. Isn't that great? Man, Apple used to be a great company. But don't give me this, oh, under Steve Jobs was Apple so great. No, they had their idiotic procedures back then too, don't worry. And now, Buffalo RAM. Put that in. Okay, there we are. Before I go ahead, I'd love to try out if they boot, because yeah, again, they have been laying around forever in my shop. Oh, okay, it took a while, but yeah, I suppose it's okay. So let's go ahead with our drive swap, because that's still in there, the old drive, which is in there. So how do we get this out? I have no idea. Probably, yeah, like this. So here you have this little pull tab. Not a pull tab on iPhones, which suck. Hopefully this isn't the same. Just gonna, do we have to unscrew something? No. Okay, let's see. There it is, folks. That's how easy it is. That surely is an Apple branded drive. Apple always kind of puts this cool black sticker over their hard drives. Ah, I spoke too soon. So there is actually a Torx screwdriver. So you still need a Torx screwdriver on your old MacBook, but that's okay. I can forgive him that. Let's remove the 4 screws and then put this tray on our new SSD. That is it. We're done. MacBook is upgraded. Took literally 10 minutes. No exaggeration. So, change of plans here, guys. I will not clone the macOS just yet. I decided I will install Linux first and just don't have to worry about the partitioning and wiping the wrong partition and whatnot. We're just gonna have the entire disk only for Linux. And when I'm ready, I'm gonna go back to OS 10. So as you see, 4 gigabytes of RAM, that's good. We still have this slow old hard drive, but yeah, if you're a stick with Ubuntu MATE, I struggle to say it like this. I always want to say mate because yeah, it's written mate. So we have here EFI boot. Let's see if we can boot Linux just like that. I don't know. See what happens here, guys. Very nice. Try or install. So that is good. So it recognized it. Hooray. That looks our USB is booting. And now it only needs to boot up successfully and find all the drivers, which I really hope they work. So I chose Ubuntu MATE for a couple of reasons, really. First of all, it's less resource heavy, like the full-blown Ubuntu, and the full Ubuntu, like everybody knows it, and it's not really that great nowadays. Like all the Linux fans seem to despise of Ubuntu nowadays, and I know it well, so I'm just gonna go with something different. And I don't like LXD all that much, so that's why I skipped Lubuntu, which I suppose would run really good on here. I don't know about Xubuntu or Kubuntu. I'm also not a KDE fan. That will upset a lot of people. I can already see them screaming around, it's the best interface, you can do the most and blah blah. Yeah, I don't care. I don't like it, okay? Just accept it. But Mate, I'm gonna be, whoa, cool jingle there. I'm gonna be interested and see how it runs. So install, I'm gonna keep it English for you guys. So I don't know why, guys, but this installer is exceptionally slow. I'm not sure why, really, but as you see, it loads forever on each page. I hope really that improves. I mean, it sure will, but it's kind of odd, but it is going, so Well, anyway, it's a computer from 2009, so let's not, you know, complain too much. And it's probably also because of the USB and all that. So yeah, we'll just install. See you when we're at the desktop. Yes. So it has finished installing. So now I'm interested to see how fast it boots with Linux and the SSD. Here we are. That wasn't the world's fastest boot, admittedly. There is the desktop. So, as you see, here is Ubuntu MATE. Now, before I do anything, I'll shut it down and give it a PRAM reset, because I got a feeling it's gonna start faster or load faster into the OS with the reset done. It takes quite a while to actually start booting. So that took 1 minute to boot up, which honestly isn't that good. I mean, it's surely better than before with the crappy hard drive, but I don't know, it's a bit slow. Considering that there's no data on it, nothing, just a new install. I don't know, mates. We'll check out. So we're now gonna check out how this thing works, if everything works. So Bluetooth looks like it's working. Wi-Fi is working, so we'll connect to my Wi-Fi just to check out how reliable it is. Those are pretty, basic things. If there are already problems with like Wi-Fi or something similar, then it's for most people really not a good idea to go ahead. But nowadays Linux, has gotten more involved with Macs, and yeah. So here's Firefox, and let's see what else we have here. Office, LibreOffice. I mean, that stuff I don't really need to show you, because obviously a machine like that can do word processing. So there it is. It's still cool to have the latest version, I suppose. So there it is. That's good. It's also nice to have a new version of Firefox. I don't know if that's the latest one. Yeah, it is 110. So you can, access the web without any hiccups. So let's go to youtube.com. And I know for a fact that on Linux, Firefox hardly ever uses like GPU acceleration. I don't know why it does that. It always packs the CPU all the time. So yeah, this is basically how it will be. So I will now, to make this 100% representative, I will now turn off my Pi-hole on my network, just to make it as representative as possible, because right now it helps it out. The Pi-hole makes it faster. And will it be fast when I turn it off? Let's see. Okay, Pi-hole is turned off. So now YouTube will get a lot more heavy. You can just listen to the fan blasting right now. I'm updating some packages and then installing Chrome here. So it's probably 100%. And this is for sure what we have to kind of accept and deal with. That this thing is probably running very hot. So at least we got an updated system now. Yay. Here they have a Mac OS like control center, which I find good. With all the settings here. I'm gonna pop in here in additional drivers, see if it comes up with anything. So I did forget that this machine has a NVIDIA graphics card, which if you are a Linux user, you know that this is sometimes a bit of a problem. And here on additional drivers, it says I could have here this Broadcom driver. I will not bother with this because the stock driver works just fine. There's really no reason to do this. So I'm gonna quit out of here. And the computer seems to have all the drivers working, so Wi-Fi, Ethernet, of course, works. Then Bluetooth works. Gonna turn it off. Battery, yeah, I mean, works, haha. Sound worked. Let's see if resume from sleep works. If I close it, what will happen? It's still on, okay. It's in sleep now. That was pretty fast. Let's open it up again. That is pretty decent. Sleep wake works just as good as macOS, if not better. Very nice. It's always interesting to me. What is MATE tweak? Mate tweak. Oh yeah, we'll not mess around with the interface too much. The interface, as you see, is quite old school and held back just to save, you know, resources, obviously. That's important here. So right now we have Chrome running and nothing else, and resource monitor, and we are at 14 to 30% of CPU at the max, and we have free only 740 megabytes of RAM. So as you see, even though we upgraded the RAM to double to 4 gigs, it's still not very much nowadays, especially because Chrome is quite a resource heavy web browser. Let's close out of Chrome here and open up Firefox. Now, as you see, Chrome took up quite a bit for like running one page. Let's check out Firefox. Let's go to my website. And check out the, yeah, it's a, oh, wow, it's actually, I shouldn't crap on Chrome too much. Firefox is not much better. So as you see, 4 gigabytes of RAM, even on a lower end Linux distribution, is getting kind of low for modern web and running, you know, web browser. And this is only running right now Firefox and nothing else. So that if I open up more tabs, let's go here to YouTube and whatever, eBay. You can also check out the loading times here, which, truth be told, is doing an alright job. And as I said, I deactivated my Pi-hole, so this is like the full everything, trackers and ads all in there, and it's running okay. I can't really complain too much, but the RAM right now, it really seems to be the problem. So maybe you should go the extra mile and upgrade it to its maximum 6 gigabytes, which will make a difference. Just imagine you have 2 gigabytes more, that will be much better. But it is what it is. So I go here, actually need to order part. Now this is how I usually browse eBay when I look for something. For example, my buddy wants a new radio for his car. What I would go about usually when I look something on eBay, I would open up a couple of, so I would go about like this. I mean, obviously I would look closer, but okay, I have looked at many. Now I can close out of the main page. Usually I also have here my YouTube open or something else, or Reddit or whatever. And as you see, yeah, it's struggling a bit. Probably run out of RAM now. So yeah, only 160 megabytes, which is soon gonna be 0. The processor is at, yeah, it's getting up there, but not 100%. So I'm surprised, I'm glad. So as you see, with a little bit of patience, and if you hold back on opening up a lot of tabs and a lot of applications at the same time, man, it kind of goes without saying, then when you have little RAM, then it's okay. But if you plan on doing multitasking, more RAM is just necessary. And I suppose, unfortunately, you have a limit. With 6 gigabytes, you can't go higher. And I suppose this Linux distro, I mean, sure, you can go lower, like LXDE, Ubuntu or whatever, or MX Linux, like the super stripped down versions. Those will probably be a little bit better, but for just the mainstream dude who has an old MacBook laying around, he doesn't want to tinker too much, this is the kind of distribution to go. So truth be told, you are kind of low in RAM regardless. And since like one 4 gigabyte module DDR2 costs like $60, it's not really worth it. I mean, if it's worth it to you, Jesus. Hello, where is that coming from? Okay, the sound most definitely works, and also the buttons here work. Also the brightness, yeah, also works. Good. So those are important buttons, by the way. So very good that those work. So this is eBay. eBay is not a hardcore website, not at all. It's kind of mid-range, I would say. So yeah, it's doing good. Okay, so let's check out YouTube. And we're gonna compare here now Firefox with Chrome. So this is Firefox. Let's go to my second vlogging channel here, and just play a video. See how well it does. If you can play maybe 720, maybe even 1080, which doesn't make sense because this isn't a 1080 display, but maybe it could, you know. So let's crank it up to 720p. It's buffering. Buffering quite long. We have a little bit more RAM back now. 19% free. Not great, not terrible, and as you see we have frame drops here. And now it's okay, now it's stabilized. This is absolutely fine now, no frame drops here. But the moment I suppose you do something, even when you only move the cursor in there, yeah, it drops frames. And this is what I've been talking about. Maybe with a little bit of tweaking and stuff, you could maybe dial in Firefox, but I always got this feeling that Firefox just takes CPU and that's it. Doesn't really utilize the GPU or anything. So right now, playing 720p video, CPU, well, it doesn't seem to be all too stressed. Got a little bit of RAM, so let's do it all the way, 1080. I mean, I'm not gonna bother with 4K, obviously. This is only a dual core 2 duo, so nothing too, powerful nowadays. So we're not gonna overdo it. See if we can do it. So yeah, we get 80% of CPU. Still buffering. Let's close the control center, if that helps anything, I don't know. Yeah, it's attempt at playing 1080. Doesn't do it, huh? Maybe to some people that's acceptable to use, but that would piss me personally off. That's just too slow. Oh no. 1080 was too much. It's also probably running out of RAM, probably. No, not really. We got still a little bit of RAM, but don't you dare open anything else, then it's gone. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I did expect that Ubuntu MATE is a little bit more efficient, because right now it uses 60-ish% of RAM. That makes it almost over 2 gigabytes in idle. So, I mean, sure, it's a fully updated operating system, but I think, and the Linux guys will agree, this isn't really that great. I'm gonna be honest with you. So even on a MacBook like this, probably you have to go with XFCE if you only have 4 gigabytes of RAM, or with LXDE. Oh well, let's try the same test on Chrome. RAM shrinks down. Yeah, we're gonna accept. Honestly, not really blown away by its performance, guys. I suppose if you're only purely for performance, try LXDE. or go OS 10. Like, I'm honest here. I mean, this is only a short test. Sure, it's not representative all too much, but I can see, I mean, I don't have more RAM, and it's really struggling. So sure, it's no Core 2 Duo. You know, you gotta cut it some slack, I know. But here 720 is like barely doable. And it's not really a pleasant way of using the computer, if you know what I mean. This is not all too good. So this is kind of a letdown. I really honestly thought this MacBook could do more. Oh, there's always the surprises you have, huh? I don't know if I even should bother with like patching a normal Mac OS on here, like a new whatever Monterey or something, because if it can hardly run Ubuntu MATE, how will it perform, you know, a new Mac OS? And maybe it will not even be possible because of the graphics card. I don't know, guys. But as you see, 1080p is not doable. It is not. And it's not even necessary because you have 720p screen, but still, there you go, it struggles. It's even a bit better in Chrome, but it's just, yeah, better, haha, it's still useless. So hardly getting on with RAM, so we only have 17% of RAM. So let's see what happens when I open up for, say, Writer. Oh, that opened up quite speedy. Oh yeah, Writer is quite efficient. Look at that. Only like 100 megabytes less. Let's do something more intense. What have we got? Nothing too intense on here. What is Maps? Or is it just a link? Oh, it's an actual map application. How cool. It's even somewhat smooth, which I think is good. Zoom in here. It's a place I want to go one day. This map application is surprisingly good, guys. But it's not Google Maps good, probably. So it is smooth. You'll probably find everything you want. But, Alexanderblatt, Berlin. It's actually a decent map application. OpenStreetMap. Look at it. It's actually quite cool. Ups and downs you encounter. So I suppose if I open up another Chrome tab and go to theverge.com, that will be the end of the RAM. Yeah. And almost out of RAM. Let's bring it to the end here. It's already way slower, as you see. Let's go here to whatever. Yeah, Bitcoin, haha. Let's see. Go here. I'm still clinging on to some RAM, but as you see, guys, I mean, this is conservative way of using a computer nowadays. 3 tabs, like 1 writer, and like this map application, like this is the bare minimum really, and it performs meh. The scrolling is okay, that's good. YouTube playback is a letdown. Let's crank it to 720 down and see, that will probably be okay. But if you leave it alone, then it's watchable, so you kind of have to leave it alone and watch the video. Then it's good, or well, it's okay, it's acceptable. But with stuff in the back and doing stuff alongside, forget it. Forget it. So, yeah, as you see, it's sluggish. It's not very pleasant. It's blasting the fans. It's loud and slow. So my final verdict of Ubuntu MATE on a MacBook 2009 is it's actually not that great. probably you should go with Ubuntu. It will probably be a tad better. But if you want my honest opinion, just stick with macOS. It's probably not any worse. Now, with that said, the drivers all work. Installation was flawless, and the thing works. There are no glitches, not yet, but I don't think there will be. You know, it's fine, but just not that great. So the thing I will do is I will definitely check out Windows 10 on this because that will be interesting, more interesting to lots of people probably. And I have no idea how Windows 10 will run on this. I suppose it will be again okay, probably not great, but yeah, Linux. If you go Linux, again, my honest opinion, go for a really lightweight one, MX Linux, Ubuntu, XFCE, whatever. And if you don't have those, just don't expect the world. You saw it here. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. See you later.